I see it's 10 o'clock now, so if we want to go ahead and get started, I'll ask that we call the meeting to order. And with that, if we want to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all.
I'll ask for an motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Fike makes the motion, supported by Dr. Reardon.
Okay.
Also,
Supported.
we need to take a roll call first, right?
Okay. Yes.
Well,
that would be best. Okay. Let's take. This is for attendance. Attendance. Okay. Trustee Hugo.
Here, Blanc, Township.
Yeah. Trustee Fike.
Here in Blanc Township.
Trustee Reardon.
Here, Blanc Township.
Trustee White.
Here in Blanc Township.
Treasurer Kilmer in your office.
I'm in my office in beautiful Grand Blanc Township.
Okay. Myself, I too am in my office. And Supervisor Bennett, you are in Grand Blanc Township, I presume.
I am. Yes, thanks.
All righty. Very good. Now, the next item is the approval of the agenda. Did we have a motion and second on that?
Yes, we had a motion by Trustee Fike and support by Trustee Reardon.
Reardon, support. All righty. Trustee Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. Trustee Hugo. Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee White?
Yes.
Trustee Fike?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Kilmer?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Very good. The approval of the agenda. We have approved the agenda, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you very much, Clerk Robertson. We'll move now to citizen comments. And I do see a hand raised. I'll let Ms. Roberts call on Mr. Erd, it looks like.
Good morning, Ed Ert, 7212 Porter Road. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Yes.
Morning, Ed.
Hey, hopefully everyone's doing well, and sorry to hear about your situation, Scott.
Thanks.
I'll just be very brief. There's just something unusual on the agenda, $3.5 million for a recap of the financial activities. Traditionally, they've been $600,000, $700,000, $1.5 million, way back a few years ago. So it's just a big number that popped out. I'm sure it can be explained. And my guess is, is this Alaris Financial is at $2.5 million. And my gut feeling, that's probably got something to do with unfunded liabilities. So perhaps in the meeting, I can find out maybe a little more clarity on this for the public. And that's about all I had to say. I'm sure you've got a good answer for it. I'm sure everything's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Erd. Anyone else wish to make public comment? I see that we have Director Linehan in the meeting. One of the things that we discussed just briefly was the success of the drive-through lighting, and I would just like to pass on my congratulations to Mr. Linehan and his staff for the phenomenal job that they did with that drive-through lighting event. Mr. Linehan, you care to make any comment?
Good morning, board. First of all, I'd like to thank all the board members that came out and helped during the event. Trustee Hugo, Trustee Kilmer were out there. In fact, Miss Hugo dressed up as the Grinch. So thank you to that. And Mr. Kilmer was out there. handing out candy canes and taking donations. And, we had a very successful weekend, or 2 weekends. The first day, we were caught a little off guard by the amount of participants, but we met, we made changes, and we adapted, and our traffic flow was a lot better. And then this past weekend, Saturday was our busiest day, but you'd never know it. Even with traffic onto Dort Highway, it was only 45 minutes to get into the park. So that was not bad at all. Now, for the good part of the community, we donated a little over 20,000 pounds worth of food and toys to Fish a Grand Blanc, which is going to help feed quite a few families here coming into the future. It's one of the largest donations that they've seen. So we're glad that we could be a part of it. And we are so proud of our community for stepping up and helping out.
Well, thank you, Patrick. I've heard so many great things on both social media and by individuals directly. Congratulations to you and your staff and the volunteers.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Linehan. Mr. Fike?
Forgive me. I've got a question, Patrick. Very good out there. I went through and very impressive. I know you were out there putting up all those lights personally in some cases. Just 2 things. One, do you know how many people went to that event?
So while we didn't have a count, we were estimating numbers from candy canes and cookies and those sort of things that we gave out. And, we're thinking at least 1,000 cars every night. And then this past Saturday, we were probably closer to 1,500 to 1,600 cars that came through.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and as the event went on, there were multiple families that came through multiple times. Sometimes on different nights, sometimes they would go through and come right back through. So, the community enjoyed it.
Anything you would change for next year, or what did you learn?
Well, we definitely had to adapt there at the very beginning. We weren't expecting the amount of traffic that we were getting. We knew with the catfished Facebook pages, that we'd have some issues. But the overwhelming response for people coming to the event, we weren't expecting. By the second weekend, we had it down. That first weekend, Saturday, went a lot smoother than Friday did. But we had a week after that to really figure out, what we wanted to do. And we'd like to thank Action Sign for stepping up, or Action Traffic stepping up and helping us with some signage to help. And then the police department did a great job of helping with traffic control. So, very good things. In the future, we would like to go back to more of a traditional tree lighting, but what we'll do is a lot of the elements that we had in the northern part of the park, we'll bring into the southern part of the park and allow people to drive through at their leisure with extended hours.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Treasurer Kilmer?
Yeah, I'd also like to thank the Grand Blanc Chamber of Commerce. They had people out there every night, and they had 5 or 6 people, Jet, Amanda, and several of her people were there handing out candy and collecting donations and stuff also, along with Patrick's people. And so it worked out real well.
Yeah, and the chamber was really good helping with fish when we started doing the food donations. Having the chamber up there, it really helped because we started sorting on site and they did a really good job with that.
Very good. Well, sounds like some teamwork there. Well, congratulations, Patrick, to you and your team for putting that whole thing together and putting up the lights and coordinating all of it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other citizen comments. I would like to welcome our superintendent, Mr. Limita, to our first official board meeting. And congratulations, Mr. Limita. We're very pleased that we're able to have you back on board, and look forward to exciting beginning here and an exciting 4 years of accomplishment. With that, I'm going to move to the, well, I guess we had it on a consent agenda, but I guess we can go through them item by item. I didn't realize they were on a consent agenda, but anyways, item A, the board will consider a motion to approve the township liability coverage through Stevenson Company for the amount of $173,987. Anybody have any questions on that motion?
Well, a point of clarification, Mr. Supervisor,
Yes.
if I may. We do have, according to the agenda, these are consent agenda items. So is it your intention to discuss A, B, and C and then have a single vote in support of the consent agenda?
I just noticed, I didn't realize that it said consent agenda above it. I probably should have asked at the beginning of the meeting for an approval to approve both the regular agenda and the consent agenda, but it looks as though everything on there is in a consent agenda. So
Okay.
we can either take them in three individually as three separate items, or we can vote, I guess, on the consent agenda list of them and approve them in one vote.
Well, might I suggest that we have the discussion on A, B, and C and then simply vote in favor of the consent agenda afterwards? Then we have just one vote rather than the three. If that's what the purpose of consent agenda is to have a single vote to adopt all three items, I'm okay with that, but I'm just trying to understand how we want to do this.
Mr. Laddie, what's your thoughts? Any thoughts on that?
I understand for the sake of efficiency doing that, but as long as we're here and if we're going to discuss those items individually, would the board mind passing individual decisions on each of them?
It's fine with me.
Okay. No, okay. I just thought it was important to clarify.
Okay, thank you.
So,
so the first item, Mr. Limita, is with regard to our liability coverage.
That's correct. And I sent out a communication yesterday afternoon. I hope all the board members received it in your email and had an opportunity to look at it. I tried to give some historical reference behind the Stevenson Company and our agent, and try to just go back, at least during my tenure here for the last 5 years, of where we've been. Coming back to the township at this point, this year we had discussed going out for a request for quotes for our casualty and liability coverage. But it does take a few months lead time to do so with coming in. I mean, I would ask the board respectfully that we approve this year, because we don't really have an opportunity to go out and shop that, but our intention is to do it after the first of the year. It may mean that depending on the quotes that come back, that we're bringing that back to the board sometime before mid-year, and we could do a mid-year change if we found out that we could get light coverage for less money. There was an increase this year of about 25%, supposedly based upon according to our agent, obviously liability carriers in Michigan took a hit with the Midland dam breaks, and that seemed to impact it. So from a market standpoint, it was kind of an increase across the board. And then the other one is just, historical payouts. There was a vehicle accident involving an officer that had increased the holdback on some loss runs that impacted it. But again, I think with us adding in fire 2 years ago and Parks and Recreation in 2020, it's a good time to go out and rebid the entire thing and to see what's out there.
Mr. Kilmer?
Actually, Dennis covered it. I was going to mention that there are some things that we've added, like Parks and Rec and whatever, that were not there last year. So that's part of the reason for the increase.
Right. Anybody else have any questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the payment for the liability and property coverage. Someone care to make that motion?
So
Mr.
moved.
Fike? Mr. Fike
Yes.
makes the motion, supported by Ms. Hugo.
Okay. Motion by Fike, supported by Hugo, to approve the township liability coverage through Stevenson Company for the amount of $173,987.
Correct.
We'll take the record roll call. Trustee Fike,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Hugo,
Yes.
Trustee Raritan,
Yes. Treasurer
Kilmer,
Yes, sir.
myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Very good. 7-0, motion passes.
Thank you, Clerk Robertson. Item B, the board will consider a motion to approve of treasurer's financial activity recap for a grand total of $3,647,086.02. Mr. Limita?
So to answer the citizen comment about the size of the accounts payable run for this, you'll notice that that is typical in December because that is when we take the excess fund balance above the mandated reserve and we use that to put down onto the unfunded liabilities. You guys at a previous meeting had approved the budget amendments to include the additional dollar amounts for OPEB as well as an additional contribution to the surplus account in the MERS defined benefit plan for the police department. That's the difference in why this AP run is higher than what would normally be seen, but typical for December.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Limita. Someone care to make the motion to approve?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay,
Second.
motion by Clerk Robertson, supported by Treasurer Kilmer.
Treasurer Kilmer, supported. Very good. Record roll call. Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Raritan,
Yes.
Trustee Fike,
Yes.
Trustee Hugo. Myself, yes. Treasurer Kilmer,
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Very good. The motion is passed 7-0.
Thank you. Item excuse me, item C, the board will consider a motion to approve health reimbursement account pre-funding through Franklin Benefits up to $50,000. Superintendent Limita?
The reason that, and just for everybody's edification, the health reimbursement account, the HRA, is a portion of our health care for both retirees and actives. We pre-fund those benefits throughout the year, usually a month in advance. This is the first initial deposit for the 2021 health reimbursement account. Normally, we have the exact dollar amount that they're requesting, but it was a delay on the part of Health Equity. We didn't have the exact dollar amount, hence the request for up to $50,000. We believe it will be closer to $40,000, but that will allow us, once we receive that invoice, to pay it with the board's approval.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Someone care to make the motion? Ms. Hugo makes the motion, supported by Fike.
Okay. Okay. Record roll call vote on item C, to approve the health reimbursement account pre-funding through Franklin Benefits up to $50,000. Trustee Hugo,
Yes.
Trustee Fike,
Yes.
Trustee Raritan,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Treasurer Kilmer,
Yes.
myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
Very good. The motion passes 7-0.
Like to just take a moment to thank everybody for being on the board, and wishing all of you and your families a very happy holiday season and a healthy one. Stay healthy or get healthy. And, So I look forward to working with everybody after the holidays here, Christmas and New Year's. But hope that everybody enjoys their holiday season with their family this year.
You too.
I'll make the motion to adjourn if that's in order, Mr. Supervisor.
That is Clerk Robertson.
Okay. And seconded by Supervisor Bennett. Okay, we need you to rest your voice as rapidly as possible, Mr. Supervisor. Okay, record roll call. Trustee Raritan on adjournment.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Kilmer
Yes, sir.
and Supervisor Bennett.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, we are adjourned at 10:21.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for meeting today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Yep.